Today we are exploring a historic mansion. The Spanish Revival style mansion has been abandoned since 1978, despite an attempt to restore the mansion that fell through. Join us as we learn some of the history of this forgotten estate. This massive mansion was styled with a Mediterranean tiled roof and yellow bricks that had been strategically placed in these Art Deco patterns. One cool thing about this is we had no idea what it was when we got here. One of our friends just mentioned we should check it out. And guys, right now I am standing in a pool in this mansion. The first room definitely leaves an impression on you. The upstairs floor is completely gone and you can see the fireplace just barely hanging onto the wall. And the bottom floor had been a giant indoor pool decorated with pink and white tile. You can tell someone at some point had tried to restore this mansion because there is no trace of the wood from the upper floor, indicating it probably had not collapsed. This mansion was built in the year 1936 by a very wealthy family involved in the oil business. The idea of building this mansion was more than just for the husband and the wife, but for the two daughters, who had both recently been engaged and had been planning a double wedding which would take place in 1932. The father had the idea of building a three-family estate where the two new son-in-laws would work with him in the oil business. This mansion would easily become one of the finest pieces of architecture in this section of the state. This kitchen had been filled with old books and VHS tapes. It appears everything would have been stored in here ready to be boxed up and moved, but that would never happen.
Unopened.
That's awesome. Unopened.
It's really soft right there, be careful. Like very, very soft, even right here.
This room still had some old furniture left behind, and who doesn't keep their toaster in the living room? This estate featured a total of 32 rooms altogether, and it was set up with 2 apartments on the first story for the 2 daughters and their husbands, and 1 apartment on the second story for the mother and the father. The mansion stayed in the family until 1969. I could only imagine what this room would have looked like while it was in use. Although the floor is torn up, what remains is this beautiful water fountain. It is again tiled with a Spanish-influenced design and a frog sculpture where the water would have fountained from. I can only imagine what this was like when it was, perfect condition. Someone had a lot of money. We had to be super careful upstairs because most of the floor had been removed during an attempt to restore the mansion in 2016, which the project was shortly abandoned. It was incredible to see the ornate plaster ceilings and massive windows, like this one which I assume would have been the mother and father's master bedroom. Even though the upper floors had been gutted, you can still see how grand these walls would have been while it was active. In 1970, the mansion was purchased to be used as a semi-independent home for mentally deficient adults. It was used to care for short and long-term residency, and offered job training and other activities for the tenants, like the indoor pool we saw. It was considered a pioneer residence program for the mentally ill at the time. One of the staircases had been especially different from the rest. This one was all green with plants painted on it. I feel like I'm still seeing things that I haven't seen the first time around. I couldn't even imagine how nice this pool would have looked all those years ago. This place had such a unique feel and we had a great time on this explore. I loved all the ornate architecture and how even in its current state of disrepair, you can still find some of its character frozen in time. As you walk its hallways, you can almost imagine what life would have looked like for the wealthy family in 1936. Alright guys, so we just finished up at this spot. We had so much fun. I mean, like I said, we didn't even know what was going to be in this place, and it was just amazing. So a funny story real quick. We just came out of there and we lost the keys, so we had to search the whole place again. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode, make sure you subscribe for more.